Well, welcome and hello there. This is Lorcan. I'm doing a thing. I'm doing a new thing. This thing hopefully will turn out to be a long-running thing. I like this thing. Please support it. I've said thing too much. It's lost all its meaning. But yeah, hey, welcome to a new series. This series is the world building series. It's a thing that I'm making because it's not as scripted and I don't have to spend as long coming up with loads of lines of dialogue and then recording and re-recording because I'm a pretty bad actor. It's also more of a spontaneous series and allows me to use my creativity in different ways, and it's going to involve a lot of drawing, which I'm kind of excited about because my art skills are subpar and I would love to test that out. So later we're going to have like a live drawings art speed paint thing. This is going to be a series where I'm going to go about making an entirely new fantasy world. Now, to be clear, this isn't a world that I've actually written anything for. I have done literally nothing to prepare for this outside of doing similar things before, writing worlds, writing stories in new worlds. And for this one, I'm going to be starting from scratch. This isn't Revile or any of the other worlds that I've created. Revile, for those who don't know, is my D&D campaign setting, which I wrote. And it isn't going to be me explaining any existing ones, though I'll probably be stealing from existing ones by accident or on purpose. I want this to be very interactive. Hopefully, after this first episode, I would really love to have a lot of audience participation and spend a lot of time building this world with you guys, so we all end up with a stake in this creation. And this is going to work by you guys leaving comments and suggestions, and I'm going to have polls in the videos as well over what video should be next, over what aspects of the world you want to explore, or even just ideas of the world. In some cases, maybe we'll try and decide who wins a battle, or if anyone wins a battle, or maybe who runs a country, what's their name, what's the nation's name, what's the language that they use. All of those things I really want to decide as a group and really make this a shared place where everyone can take and use as their inspiration or their setting. I want it to be something that people could use as a story base or even as a campaign base, which is probably what I'd end up using it for because big D&D nerd if you hadn't realized from my other videos. So this first video is going to be me going ahead and drawing a map of a fantasy world, and I decided to do this because it's quite low stakes, it's something that I can do by myself, and I feel like most people wouldn't feel so bad if they missed out on the geography. I'm not choosing nations or anything, I'm just doing geography. The reason for this is because geography is actually really helpful, especially when you're writing books or settings or any type of campaign, because oftentimes you need to know what the land looks like in order to decide what sort of nation would grow up there, or what sort of place it is. Obviously, like, you can go against that, break the rules, do whatever you want, and I think that that's also quite amazing. I mean, for goodness sake, one of my favorite settings of all time is a literal flat Earth that floats through space on the back of a giant turtle, and that's incredible. And you can go wild with the way that it works, but for now we're just going to focus on the literal geography of the fantasy world. Here's a little trick that I learned, that if you don't know how your world looks already, you can get a general layout of the continents and islands, perhaps. Admittedly, I did learn this off Pinterest because it is the source of all great life hacks in the world. So first you're going to get your tea, because we're Pinteresters. Then you're going to take some lentils or rice or other type of bean and just pour it out onto the counter like this. And you're just going to spread it around, mix it up, touch everything, get a good feel for it until it starts to form sort of shapes. See, now we have sort of continent shapes that we can take a picture of, and I'm going to use a picture for a reference on a digital platform. But what you can do is just take some paper and draw over the top, and I'm realizing that I probably should have put the paper underneath instead of on top because this is really difficult. Remember to give thanks to your beans by drawing a little smiley face in them, realizing it's horrible and destroying it. Okay, but now that we've got our actual layout of our continents, we're going to go ahead and draw the entirety of the world. Now, forewarner, I do not have a lot of digital art experience. I have only started really recently, and if anyone has tips or tricks, please tell me, because I always need support and help, because I'm just a poor boy from a poor family. Just really trying my hardest. But seriously, if you do know things that I could be doing better, please tell me. That's really helps, and I would love to get better. So here we are just drawing different regions, like some nice snowy regions up here, and some maybe foresty ones down there. And just fill it out, making sure that we if you want to have a nice diverse biome, I think that for this one I'm going to try and get as many different biomes and different areas as possible, and that way we have loads of different settings that we can use and build up, and they can all have their own stories behind them, and that way we have a more wide and varied sort of thing going on. I always like specifying a lot of geography when I'm describing worlds and areas, because it does help build a real sense of a place rather than just of a collection of ideas. And I often find that describing like the landscape that someone's in and how that relates to the culture or how that relates to everything else that's going on around them, it's important. If you're playing any type of role-playing game, it's great, because then sometimes your players will use the actual landscape to their advantage, or really think around the way that something looks, and that's really cool when they're using something that is supposedly just flavor text and they're really thinking about it. Same goes for any type of fanfiction or artists out there. You guys are also really awesome. Cannot do what you do. Here we just add some like dark areas, because you know every good fantasy world has its little dark area. I mean, not necessarily evil, just dark. Like there's Mordor, and there's the Forbidden Forest, and there is whatever the name of the dark area in Narnia is called. I didn't actually create a name for this world. I did put out a question on Instagram and on Twitter just saying, hey, what would be a really cool name for a fantasy world? Please someone send me ideas, because I'm not creative. And some people got back to me with suggestions like Your Mom or something deep and meaningful. And I mean, yeah, no, those are great places to start. I mean, I would be up for naming my entire world Your Mom. In the end, I decided it would be better if I put this video up, and you guys could decide what the name of the world could be in the comments. Which brings me into an important part. This series does involve a lot of interaction, and the best way to do that is in the comments. as I haven't set up any other way of doing it yet, and I'm looking into it, but it's hard, and the internet scares me. It's complicated. Technology's hard, guys. So I really will appreciate it if you do comment your ideas, and I'll probably spend a lot of time in the comments trying to see what people are thinking and look through their ideas, and we can all have a discussion down there, because I think that that's really worthwhile. And again, it kind of holds into this whole interactive setting that I want to build with you guys. So there we have it, a whole world. See, we've got our 3 continents with a couple of big and small islands mixed in there, my really, really bad textured ocean underneath, and some different varied biomes with ice and forests and jungle and deserts, all sorts of different things going on. And I really can't wait to get in and explore what each region is and what nations may be there. So in the next video, I really want to put up to you guys what you might want to explore next. I'm up for exploring anything. 2 things that I thought might be really cool to explore in the next video might be going into what creation myths might we have. Other than that, something that is always cool is just talking about different nations and drawing political borders, because nothing is more exciting than politics, guys. You know. Please do write in the comments, because I'm really excited to see what you guys say about this and about the idea and about the world, and see what you guys might think might be cool to have in it. Also, do share the video and subscribe and like the channel, because they all do support me, and I am trying to be more of a creative person and spend more time doing the creative things because they give me meaning in my life. So until the next video, I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and keep on sailing!